Extra Mile gave us the chance to put the kids first.
At the beginning, when I found out, I was feeling a bit like, was it because I was falling behind and everything? But then when I realised that like some of the really smart kids have got it as well, I didn't really feel that stupid.
In 2008, the DCSF launched the Extra Mile project. It's designed to improve the attainment of students from low-income families.
The Extra Mile really drew its provenance from looking at what good schools were doing, schools in disadvantaged contexts that were actually managing to get pupils from poor backgrounds to beat the odds, to actually achieve as much or better than their peers.
Case studies taken from 23 Good Practice Phase 1 schools were divided into 12 categories and then published so they could inspire other schools. Now, about 80 secondary schools are running projects specifically aimed at deprived students.
It gives schools the autonomy to make the choice from informed knowledge about what is going to make the difference, and then they can amplify their actions that are already in place in a way that accelerates progress.
Rains Park High in southwest London elected to become involved in the Extra Mile Phase 1 initiative.
We were selected by our school improvement partner from the borough as a school that, although we didn't have a predominant number of free school meal students, we did have a significant number, and they thought that we would actually benefit by being involved.
As part of their Extra Mile programme, some Year 7 Rains Park pupils from low-income families last year enrolled in Double Club. Extra literacy was followed by a bit of the beautiful game. It was run by a Wimbledon Football Club coach.
We actually had a football coach who was also an English teacher that came in, worked with the students and made it really fun.
It was kind of special how it just came in for just like a group of us and rather than just a whole class.
Yeah, we had a coach what came in to do our literacy and we had some booklet and we had to read it out.
They used to have man of the match for who got the top spellings and all, and all the rest of it. And then they used to do some football training after school and they raved about it, they loved it.
More fun than English work than it actually was in English, and you learn more out of it.
I used to forget my full stops a lot and my spellings weren't that good, but I've improved in my spellings ever since after that.
Extra Mile schools usually focus initially on 2 projects only. At Rains Park High, in addition to Double Club, older pupils may be assertively mentored by a member of staff to ensure that a pupil is working to the best of their ability.
What I want to do is see what progress you've made from the last meeting and see what we can do to improve things even further.
We're very keen to recognise that these kids aren't homogeneous, the schools aren't homogeneous, so the choice and selection that schools will make will be pertinent to their context. And what we've encouraged schools to do is to identify 2 complementary activities that again suit them.
What about French? I know you came in over the half term and I spoke to Mr. Coles. How did that go?
I've been working really hard on the coursework and I've handed it in early to him and he's given it back so I can do improvements on it. And we've had vocabulary tests every week and the past 4 weeks I've got 10 out of 10.
So it's really about saying, what do we think these students can do as individuals, and really tracking them in a forensic way so you begin to see what their aptitudes and abilities are. And then you can make sure you're creating the curriculum and providing the teaching and learning that's going to enable them to really accelerate.
By coming here I've been given a lot more opportunities like the assertive mentoring, and I feel if I do go to college and university then my family are going to be really proud of me and hopefully I'll do well.
Another Phase 1 Extra Mile school, Stopsley High in Luton, trained senior pupils as peer educators. Their brief was to help younger pupils on free school meals resolve conflicts constructively.
Hi guys, I'm Anika. I'm Trishna. I'm Anissa. I'm Anna. And we're here today to talk to you about conflict resolution.
What we're going to do now is we're going to show you a role play, show you a bad way to solve a situation.
No.
Yeah,
in the
Trishna.
Trishna.
Excuse me, I just heard my name.
No, you didn't.
You were talking about me just now.
Shut up! We weren't saying anything. Shut up!
Okay, freeze! What they've done here is they've finished it by using violence. That's obviously not a good way to do it. So what we're going to do is we're going to split you up into groups of 4s, and we want you to start from the beginning of the role play, and we want you to solve it in a good way.
The peer educators here at Stopsley have been amazing. They're very, very well practiced and rehearsed. They've put a lot of time into that. They have done that themselves. They've written their own lessons. It's quite scary when you think they can write their own lessons at the age they are.
Okay, right, we're going to pick one group to come up and show it. So does your group want to come up and show your role play up here?
Why didn't you invite me?
I didn't think you wanted to go.
Of course I wanted to go. Everyone went.
In fact, Carol didn't go.
I thought you liked me, Sadie.
I do like you. Oh, don't be like that. Forgive me.
Say sorry first.
I'll say sorry. I wanted
Fine.
to invite you.
Group hug!
Hey!
Right, after listening to that really, really good performance, we want to get some feedback from you of what you learnt today about conflict resolution. So, hands up.
You should handle conflict in an easy, well-mannered way.
You should try and find a compromise so everyone's happy.
So did everyone enjoy it?
We find that students engage very well with other students. They understand, they relate to one another, and very often that works much better than an adult trying to deliver what children should and shouldn't be doing.
Rather than having a teacher tell you, and rather having an older person like their mid-40s telling you what to do, and you're thinking, oh, please shut up. You're hearing it from someone your own age, near about, so you can get to know them as they are, rather than having someone that actually doesn't really know where you're coming from.
First of all, we're going to start off with sort of a game kind of thing.
Evidence from the Extra Mile case studies showed increasing interactive and participatory learning improved outcomes in the target group. But another key to success was to start modestly.
Small steps has been sort of a metaphor really for the action that I'm really keen to make sure that schools adopt, because what we've tended to find is that once they become engaged with the philosophy of what Extra Mile is about, suddenly they want to do too much and they become over-ambitious and they put themselves under huge pressure. Equally, what we're very keen to do is to really get schools to sort of forensically examine these pupils, to really get to know them, and then to build very small steps in terms of actually finding the solutions that are going to work.
One small step, taken by Stopsley's assistant head last year, was to provide departing Year 11s with a conflict resolution workshop, run by an ex-convict.
We found that instead of becoming in conflict with their teachers in their last year, it gave them the opportunity to think twice before they set off on an argument.
And I actually think it helped me, the way I've seen problems, if I got angry and stuff, and because we've done ways about thinking about other people, judging them.
The course that I went on last year actually helped me to work as a team, understand teams' difference, and help other people and not just judge them all the time.
Extra Mile students can struggle to get those all-important 5 GCSE subjects at A to C. Back at Rains Park High in Wimbledon, Holly is in Year 11. Circumstances have made it hard for her to fulfil her academic potential, so she is now being helped by assertive mentoring.
It's got a big push behind it. It's actually regular contact with the student. It's also about using data regularly to track students. We're looking at whether they've actually improved or made progress in a very short span of time.
The good news is there's some C's in there, but the bad news is there's some D's in there. And what I would like to concentrate is how we're going to change those D's into C's.
Yeah.
Why do you think the C is so important for you to move from a D to a C?
I think because my college, the courses that I want to do, I need 5 A to C's, so obviously one being in English.
Right. So in class, tell me about in class, how's that stopping you getting the magic C?
I think I could move away from certain people because in class I'm chatting a bit too much.
Why do you think that's putting your grade down?
Because I'm not listening to the teacher when he's talking.
Okay. And maybe speak to your friends and say, I'm not being funny, I just want to get a C. And hopefully they'll support you in that, because if they're friends, they will.
Yeah.
Yeah?
If you're a child that isn't on free school meals, you've got 3 times the odds of actually getting those threshold grades compared to a child who is on a free school meal. So by the end of Key Stage 4 GCSEs, 5A Star to C with English and Maths, there's a 28 percentage point difference.
Just how well an Extra Mile school is doing in narrowing this gap needs careful assessment and monitoring from school leaders.
We did student surveys, we did teacher surveys, we did parental sort of questionnaires as well for those students that were involved, and we got feedback from all parties that were involved. And basically we listened to the students and we assessed them at the beginning of the projects, during the projects and at the end, and we were able to actually gauge not just quantitatively but qualitatively that they were having an impact, and certainly those ones that have had the biggest impact we've further developed, and we've actually got them as part and parcel within our school development plan.
Please, everyone, please take your seats.
Stopsley High is part of a cluster of Luton schools which run a drama club for Extra Mile pupils and those in danger of exclusion.
Look, Mum, how many times do I have to tell you to pay the gas bills?
The group has been rehearsing a play largely based on the lives of some of the cast.
I'm late every day to school just because you choose to live a life on a sofa rather than look after your own kids. Me included, by the way. They don't deserve this, you know. I don't deserve this.
Deserve? Did I deserve being beaten to a pulp by your father, or you stood there and watched?
I was 13, Mum, okay? 3 years ago. And what was I supposed to do, huh? And since then, all I've tried to do is to show you how sorry I am by taking care of your own kids like they were my own.
The students are doing a dress rehearsal for a performance in front of parents, teachers and the public tomorrow.
This ain't no school, you know.
You think I'm scared of you? You think I'm scared of you? You think I'm scared of you? Wait, get off me.
Jason! Jason, what are you doing? These people are dangerous.
Under the Extra Mile auspices, pupils went on a visit last year to the Sylvia Young School, which trains students for professional acting and singing careers.
And whilst there, they realised that actually the discipline involved in doing drama and acting is really quite intense. They've come back with a sense of what they have to do and the hard work that's involved for them to go on and to act and sing.
You don't know me, you don't care. I have my feelings scattered everywhere. 1 step forward, 5 steps back. I can't do this, I'm about to crack.
This is going to make a real difference. That opportunity that they've had will make a difference to those students.
Oh, oh.
But what does a school need to do to make sure their Extra Mile project makes a real difference?
The one thought that I think I'd be encouraging people to take away about the Extra Mile is not to actually think about which activity we would like to do, but that the starting point really is to think about the who, to actually think about who are our target group of students here that we want to work with, that we can make the difference for, and then actually tailoring the right set of interventions to enable that to happen for those pupils.